Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. My name is Giridhari. And today I wanted to bring to you a very common, beautiful concept you see, especially in the Puranas, which is the concept of the Rajarsi, Raja Rishi. You see that in the Bhagavad Gita as well. And why is it important? Well, one of the biggest concerns, one of the biggest difficulties people have is to understand how to integrate their spiritual life with the day-to-day life. And this has been a problem since forever. And some people would think that, no, I have to just give everything up. And so they would renounce everything. And, even Jesus taught that just like leave everything behind, don't bring anything with you and come with me. But you couldn't take can I just take a couple of pots and pans? No, don't take anything with you. No, don't bring a coat, nothing. Just come as you are. And so, of course, and then in the Indian tradition, we still have hundreds of thousands of renunciants, millions, they go off and just walking even naked, covered in ashes, nothing, take nothing. So there's this difficulty. Do I have to give up everything? But for most, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't be a very good way. If God had set up the system like that, it wouldn't be very good, because then what about the world? And is the world evil then? What does that mean about the world? So it's a difficult, it wouldn't work so well. So what you have in Bhagavad Gita and the Puranas is this concept of Rajarsi, Raja Rishi. So what's that? Raja means king. So king is the representation of the world. He is the personification of worldly duty. So it's this person completely involved in the world, responsible for the well-being of all, animals and humans within the kingdom. So maintenance and taxes and wars and politics and education, everything, right? So super concerned with day-to-day life. So that's the Raja, that's the king. But what's the Rishi? The Rishi is the spiritualist, the sage, the wise person, the wise seeker. So you have this idea of this, this is this king, completely he's mundane, lusty, fallen, completely involved with the world. And then you have this concept of the Rishi, which is detached from the world, connected with spirituality. But then you have the concept of Rajarsi. So Krishna talks about how in, this beautiful practice of Bhagavad Gita, of yoga, has been carried out by these Rajarsis. So these were these great people who were actually Rajas, they were actually kings, but they were completely enlightened. And of course, Arjuna, who receives Bhagavad Gita, is in that same line. Him and his Pandavas brothers, Yudhishthira, they're all great, perfect yogis, and yet they are the imperial family. So they're completely focused on Krishna, on bhakti, on dharma. They're completely focused on their spiritual duties, on the knowledge of their eternal selves. And yet they are, in charge. Not only in their case, they were emperors. They're in charge of other rajas and other kings. Because, Yudhishthira becomes the emperor of all that was civilization back then. So that brings us, so you can, and then exactly that's what Bhagavad Gita teaches, and that's the perfect practice of Bhagavad Gita. So how does that work then? The way that works, how do you connect how do you connect this worldly duty with the spiritual practice? There's a bridge between these two, and this is Dharma. Dharma is the bridge which will connect matter to spiritual life. It's a very important concept, hugely important. Dharma is in the first verse of Bhagavad Gita, the word Dharma. It's in the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita. It's within the Bhagavad Gita. Dharma is such an important concept. And of course, I'm always emphasizing it here, in my channel, in my book, in my courses. It's so important. Once you get into the Dharma mindset, Dharma consciousness, then life just, that's it. You found the tracks, you're on track. Life just goes so nicely, starts flowing very nicely, because now you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, everything just falls into place. So Dharma, this concept of purpose, of duty, of understanding my purpose, your purpose is different. My purpose at this moment is different from my purpose half an hour ago. It might be different from my purpose an hour from now. So Dharma is this very fluid, beautiful concept of purpose that's specific to who you are, at what moment of life you're in, what situation you have, and even what moment of the day it is. It's flowing. Because people have this idea of purpose as this one fixed thing, but that's not Dharma. Dharma is flowing through life. So, in my work, I talk about the 7 Dharmas and the 7 chakras. You can look up, there's videos here on this channel about that. So you can understand that. So it's throughout the day, you're focused on Dharma. And then you get life, you get your Raj life, you get your worldly duties, Dharma, and you do that as an offering. Krishna says famously in verse 27 of Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do, Arjuna, do that as an offering unto me. So this concept of offering, this is the basis of karma yoga, where you practice your Dharma and you're not craving the results, you're not acting with your mind in the future. That's what we call the fantasy paradigm. Your mind is in the here and now. You're practicing your duty. You're doing what has to be done, the best of you. It's called tapas, doing the best of you, despite the difficulties. You have grit. You stick to your duties. You stick to your purpose, despite any inconvenience, any temptation to do otherwise, to take an easier path. No, you do the right thing above all else. This is tapas. This is the kind of grit. Tapas, I like translating it as grit, and just like this determination to do the right thing, to do your Dharma. So with that tapas, with that determination to practice your Dharma, and then you do that as an offering to Krishna. You bring that as an offering to God. So your life becomes, so then it all makes sense. It's like you didn't have to run away from everything. You didn't have to renounce everything, because in fact, you're using everything in the service of God. So, the better you can perform your Dharma, the better you can perform your spiritual life. So you connect your mundane life, your worldly duties, with your spiritual life. It all becomes integrated into one thing. It's beautiful. Once you get it, then it's just wonderful. Your whole life becomes spiritual. You become connected. This is exactly this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And that's why Bhagavad Gita is taught not to a rishi, to some renounced rishi in the Himalayas, but it's taught to an army commander, one of the emperors, a princely emperor. It's taught to Arjuna in a critical moment of a battle, because that's what Krishna is trying to convey, this supremely important message of, look, your spiritual life, it's this stuff that you're doing now, your day-to-day life. Don't run away from it. Don't think that's evil. Why is it evil to be a mother and a father and an accountant, a construction? Well, that's not evil. That's perfectly divine. That's, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with cleaning your bathroom and driving your car? There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Just make sure you do all that as an offering unto me, Krishna says. So then everything becomes connected. So it's a beautiful concept. Rajarsi, the Raja Rishi, together. That is the spiritual concept for our day and age, for you and me. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you have the rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love.